Oh, you'll feel something. I'm going to do 3 of my own, and then there's 2 I picked that aren't mine that I just really like and resonate with. The first one I'm going to do is one of my older pieces that a lot of people ended up liking. I've been loaded like a shotgun for as long as I can remember. Endless shells of expectations and limitations ran through my body at lightning speed. I guess that's why I never noticed the rust growing. Or maybe it was always there. Perhaps something I inherited from my mother that painted me the same color of wild woman that drove my dad to burn me at the stake for the sins that were never mine to hold, but was the only one around to take. Don't Be Your Mother is the only song you would sing me from the time I was a child. It's no wonder I ended up being just like him. My therapist called this an overcorrection. A thing children do in order to be accepted by the people we love. We reflect them back to themselves like little toy mirrors, in hopes that when they see themselves in us, it makes us easier to love. But when the reflection painted his face a shade of avoidance and drunken mistakes, I was the one who cracked, who ended up poison-filled and left at the top of the stairs in an effort to prove I could never be him, so what I showed him couldn't be true. It was then that I realized that I didn't want to end up being the angry man in my own house, the one well-liked by everyone except his own family. And so I left, found my way through the endless seas of people and places to ironically find a fate I can't seem to outrun. I may not be my father, but I sure do look a lot like him. The house I built at the end of the road that's paved with good intentions now stands abandoned. Surrounded with enough roadside graves, it might as well be a mausoleum dedicated to all of the versions of me who thought they were strong enough to make it out of this alive, but never quite figured out the ones who were hunting them knew them by name. It so often seems the ones we love the most always know the best ways to kill us, with an effortlessness that's almost poetic, could even be beautiful in the right light. Because what is life if not to become just another ghost story, where one day all that will be left will be the songs I would send you, the Polaroids under the bed, and the lingering feeling that I was once here too, fortunately at the same time. This is going to be the last one that's my own. I want to call my mom. I want her to tell me it's going to be okay, and I want to believe her. I want to have faith in someone other than myself. Something that doesn't hold my name on the tip of their tongue, a secret in the back of their throat that is only spoken when there's nothing better to talk about. I want a house fire, and I want to be the one who haunts it, just to get a taste of something all-consuming and to have the vulnerability to let it. I want to be invited in without having to build my own chair to sit at your table, to be a part of the story, not just someone who gets to hear about it after. I want to be known. I want to be so known you couldn't remember a time before me. A history learned between cigarettes and phone sex, mixed tapes and photographs. I want to rewrite history in a way that my grief could let all of this go. Because I've spent so many winters of my life at the grave of the girl I was so sure I was supposed to be, and she just never showed up. And I want that to be okay. Just like I want it to be okay, that I want to die. But only when the time is right, and not a second before I see all of this happen. By Neil Hilborn. Some of his older work I've been revisiting, and I really am vibing with it. This one's called Clatter. It is impossible to imagine a color you have not seen. I can't call my mother because she makes me panic. When I say that I'm crying, what I really mean is that I want to cry, but I can't. Instead of dying, the jellyfish simply ceases to move. Glass moves like any other liquid, but slower. Sex is another way of communicating with your body, like self-harm or sign language. I complete 5 crosswords a day because it stops the panic. Trucks are downshifting on Main Street. Most of what I do to stop the panic. I never cry about the things outside my head because they all seem so far away. Hair is partially composed of cyanide. Napalm is just gasoline and plastic, and I'm just carbon and bad timing. I think if I were anybody else, I would be mentally ill. It is impossible to imagine a color you have not seen. This one's called called The Devil in My Bloodstream. We wiped out all the buffalo around the turn of the last century, and so it's factories and sawgrass, and wheat fields and asphalt laid in front of me. The Midwest is a hollow place that we filled with love and industry. We started at the frozen ground in Goodwill suits, silent as silent as a pastor reads eulogy. I wanted to see just a little bit of everything. Let me be two blackbirds on a highway sign, laughing at me at 4 a.m. They played the war drum out of time, so I'm not sure where I've been marching. I want to be strong, but it's not easy anymore. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. It's just 5 hours straight to home from the town west of Sioux City, and so I searched through my great-grandfather's memories for the devil in my bloodstream. Depression grabbed his throat and choked the life out of him slowly. I've got the same blood coursing through my veins. It'll come for me eventually. I bet I'd be a fucking coward. I bet I'd never have the guts for war, because I can't spend another month away from here. These frantic rest stop phone calls don't get answered anymore. But I want to know if I could please come home. Just let me know.